Evening everybody. We finally made it to Watch It Wednesday. It's been a funny couple of weeks. Thank you to everyone who's going to join in tonight. I'm looking forward to sharing these couple of cards with you. To be honest, I haven't made anything in advance, so we're going to wing it, which will be quite interesting, seeing as I usually like to prepare things in advance, don't I? So today we're going to be using this stamp set, which is called Inspiring Iris. It is one of our new stamp sets in the new annual catalogue, and it is a two-step stamp set. I really struggle to say that. And we've got these lovely outlines, and then we've got these lovely infill. So I'm going to show you how we use that today. The trick I find with these stamp sets, hi Sharon, is to use this lovely Stamparatus. So we're going to get cracking straight away. It's going to be quite a quick one. I'm going to make 2 cards, I think, but it'll probably be quite quick, because the great thing about these stamp sets is they just make things really come to life quite quickly. So let's get cracking. I'm going to start with one of the note cards. These measure 3.5 inches by 5 inches, and I've chosen a base, a layer of Blackberry Bliss, and that measures 3 inches and 3/8. This is where it gets technical, by 4 inches and 7/8. And then we have a Whisper White layer that is 3/4 by 4 3/4. I should have written that down before I started talking, shouldn't I? Never mind, we learn. So let's pop that up there. So to start with, we can just layer on our base Blackberry Bliss, like so, straight onto our card blank. Like so, like that. And then we have our layer of Whisper White, but this is the piece we're going to use for our stamping, so we're not actually going to stick that on yet. So with our Stamparatus, this is our stamping platform, so we're going to use this arch, this lever here, and obviously our trusty magnet, which we don't want to get caught. So we'll push that right to the top, and we will secure it with our magnet. We're going to take this stamp first. We're going to do this, the main iris stamp. So let's get that off of here. And we're going to lay it where we want it to be. Now I think I'd quite like that to be about there. So pretty much in the centre. So we're going to move over our plate, push down to pick up our stamp. And then what we're going to do, move that so it's back in the camera. Can you see it just about there? Hi Jenny, thanks for joining in tonight. We're going to ink up our image, and I'm using my trusty Memento ink pad. And we're going to pull that over, and we're going to stamp. Just push down, making sure you've got it all covered, and then pop it off. Now you can see there that I've missed a little bit ever so slightly. So the joy about the Stamparatus is we're going to re-ink the bit that we've missed, pull it over again and stamp. So the idea of this is it always stamps in the same place now. So that has filled in that bit that we've missed. So then rather than pulling off our stamp, we're going to take this out, turn it over and pop it back in, so then we can use this side as our next stamping platform. We're going to take this Infill Stamp, which is this one here. We're going to take that off, and we are going to pop this on like so. Line it up roughly. Now these stamps, they don't line up exactly. The idea of this is they overlap ever so slightly. So you just want to line it up pretty roughly, and then like we did before, pull it over, ink it up. Should have used my other magnet belt. Is that still lined up? Yeah, that's good. And we're going to use Rich Razzleberry for this, so not quite the Blackberry Bliss. Ink it up nicely and then turn it over. Push down nice and firm and then pull it off. So that is our iris, like so. And then we can put that back on. Oh, let me just get the other plate. 2 seconds, bear with me. Left that one in the pouch. So this one here, the second bag, we pop in the top. And then we're going to line up our stems, which is this one here. So all we do is we line it up roughly with where it needs to be. And we repeat. So we're going to use garden green for this. So we're going to pull this one over like so to pick up our stamp. Add some ink, which you can't really see because it's above the camera, so apologies for that. And then we're going to line that down like so. So that's what we end up with on that one. So now all you need to do is, if you know where you've placed this piece here, all you would do is you would add a little mark there and there, so that you could come along with a new piece, pop it down, line it up with your dots, pop it down, and then you can just stamp those all in the same way. So you don't need to keep lining things up, it's already done for you, so the hard work is done. So we'll just pop that to one side now. So we have our piece that we're going to use to decorate. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of spritzing to this, just ever so slightly. You know me, I like a bit of ink splash. And then I'm going to use, Jenny, this stamp set is called Inspiring Iris. Where have I put it? Here it is. Here it is, Inspiring Iris. So you've got lots of different flower heads. I'm going to use this one in a moment because I really like it. And then the sentiments. You are somebody who makes everybody feel like somebody. I like that. Sending hugs, prayers and lots of love. I can think of a few people I could send that to right now. And wishing you all the best. Wishing you the best and thanks. It's a nice one to have. And then you've got this lovely trellis image here. So it's a nice one. I'm going to take some of this linen thread to tie around our card. So just trim that off. And what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this around here, leaving ourselves enough to tie a bow, which those of you who were here last week was quite funny watching me tie a bow. I tend to be all fingers and thumbs with them. There we go. Fingers crossed we can do better this week. Oh, hi Trina, I didn't see that you were watching. I hope you're okay. Having a good week. Can't believe Emily's now finished nursery for the summer. It's gone so quickly. Oh, that's not a bad bow. That could have been a lot worse. I'll just separate this out a little bit. Like so. And trim off our ends. And then what we can do now is we can add this to our card. So that's our first one, and I will add a sentiment to this. Just like so. So that's the first main one done. So nice and quick and simple. And then the sentiment I'm going to use you are somebody who makes everybody feel like somebody. I think that's quite a nice thing to aspire to be. So let's grab an acrylic block. Excuse the state of my blocks, they need to go in the dishwasher. Now I've got here just a scrap piece of white that I can stamp that onto. Well, let's close my ink pad before I end up with green hands. Add a bit of memento. Now for this one I'm going to use my big scissors. So let's just cut this out very roughly. Now obviously I'm not going to stick it to my card like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it into word tiles. All we do is we cut it down so. I find, the reason I'm using my huge scissors is I find I can cut straighter lines a lot better with these scissors. And now I'm not going to be able to, I'm going to eat my words. This doesn't have to be exact, but it's just another way of adding a sentiment to the card without having it in a big bulk block. So now we're going to take a few little dimensionals, and let's remember the right way around that we've put in it. It reads 1, 2. These mini dimensionals are really handy because some of the work that you do is actually quite intricate. You are somebody who makes everybody feel like somebody. Okay, so now we're going to stick this on our card. One there. And we're basically going to layer this up as we go along. And like I said, it's just another way to add your sentiments to your cards or your projects. There you are. So you are somebody who makes everybody feel like somebody. Pretty. Now inside I've left it blank at the moment. Now what I would probably do is I would probably leave that blank because obviously you don't know what you're going to send it for, or you might want to write a bit of a longer message, so I'm going to leave that one blank. But that's the first one. Hope you like it. That would look lovely in any colour as well. Now onto our second card. I've got a piece of soft seafoam cardstock. Oh, it's gone out of focus. Soft seafoam cardstock, which is a lovely minty green, and I've got a piece of Whisper White. Now I don't know if you can see this, but I've run it through an embossing folder, the subtle embossing folder. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. So I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but it just gives lots of little subtle lines, just gives you a little bit of texture to your card. So I'm going to stick that onto our card front, like so. Where's my glue? Here he is. Again, remembering with Tombow, less is quite literally more. They have luckily come back into stock, thank goodness, so I'm a happy girl. I've had all my back order sent to me, so if you've ordered Tombow, it is on its way to you now because I've finally had my stock replenished. I've also got here just one of the stitched oval dies which come from the stitch shapes. So that's what it looks. It cuts the oval and then adds the stitching in, which you can just about see. So I'm going to use that on my card like so, but let's do some stamping. We're going to use the Stamparators again. So let's just take our stamps off. I'm going to be really naughty and clean these once I've said goodbye to you all on the end of this video. So let's just pop all those up there, and I'm going to use this one here, which I guess you'd probably call a dandelion. So we need this one here, and this one here, and this one here, and we're going to have this, thanks. So I've got 4 stamps. Let's get cracking. So we're going to lay this on our platform, on our base. Hi Trisha, thanks for joining us. We're just using this Inspiring Iris stamp set for our live tonight, and we're going to use this dandelion one. So first of all we're going to start with our, or let's line it up first before we put a magnet on. We're going to start with this lovely dandelion. Oh, it's stuck to my finger. Now I would say that's pretty central, so let's just put our magnet on there to keep our stamp, keep our paper stuck down. Pull over our stamping platform and lift off to pick up the stamp. Add a bit of memento. I feel like I'm making a cake tonight. Add a bit of memento and then stamp nicely. Perfect. And then what we do is we turn our plate over and we add this Hi Jenny, thank you for tuning in. I hope you're well. I hope you had a lovely time on holiday as well. Hi Anne, thank you for joining us this evening. Hope you're having a good week and Grace isn't wearing you out too much. So we're going to line our daffodil head up and pick you up. Now I've used for this one, or I'm going to use, sorry, Daffodil Delight. So it's going to be nice and bright. Add a bit of Daffodil Delight to that, and then stamp nicely. So it just gives a little bit of texture. It's not too bright, it's not too in your face, it's just quite subtle. So I really, really like the texture that this stamp set gives off. And then now the last piece we have the stem. I'm going to keep with our colour theme, which let's turn this one over, or we'll end up with more yellow stamped. I'm going to stamp this with the soft sea foam to keep with the colour of the card base that we've chosen. I bet you needed it, bless you. I'm glad you had a lovely time. The pictures look fab. Nope, we're not using that one, we're using this one. Dear, I'm getting confused now. So we pull that down, pick up our stamp, and then add a little bit of ink. Sunny Mallorca, lovely. Oh, Grace is poorly. Oh, that's a shame. I hope she's not going to be poorly for too long. Is it just that you've worn her out, do you think? We'll just add a little bit of soft sea foam so it's really super subtle. And that's our finished bit of stamping for that one. The sentiment I've got out is this lovely thanks. So I'm just going to keep it really brief, really simple. I always find thank you cards don't necessarily need to be too busy. We'll take that stamp off and pop that there. So this thanks, I'm actually going to stamp at the top there. Now this one is actually arched. It's curved, we'll say with that. So it actually fits really lovely just above our image, which Jenny seems to think is a carnation. It could well be. I'm terrible with flowers. I wish I was an avid gardener. Well, I like gardening, I like flowers, but I don't really know the technical names. So then all we're going to do, and I'm using crumb cake for this, just stamp thanks at the top, just like so. So then what we can do is we can just take that here and add it to our card, but rather than add it so it's flat, I'm going to use some dimensionals. And I've nearly finished this sheet. Just add 2 there for good luck. And then pop that on like so. And then to finish, I'm going to add a little bow with the linen thread. So I didn't make these cards beforehand tonight, I've really winged it, so apologies that it's been really short, but it's been a busy old day. So I've taken a piece and I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to tie my bow using both pieces. Bear with me, I hope none of you are laughing. I did it. And then just wiggle it around until you're happy with it. And this is where I wish I had smaller hands. I've pulled the wrong piece. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. And we're going to stick that on with a glue dot. I find glue dots really helpful. So they look like this. Glue dots are really helpful for adding embellishments and trinkets and such to your projects. I'll just pull that off. I've left that bit longer because I want to stick him on, and then when I'm happy with it, I'll then trim it down. So I'm going to add the little bow just at the bottom, and then all we do is we trim off our ends. So that is my simple thank you card for this evening. Inside, to finish, I would add just a sheet, a piece of Whisper White. Oh, got a dimensional back stuck there. Just a piece of Whisper White in like that to finish. You can stamp it if you wish, but again it depends what you're saying thank you for. You might want to leave it in completely blank. So just like so. And that's that card finished. So this evening, it's been really quick. I do appreciate you joining me. It's been lovely. The next week's one may also be quite quick because it is the summer holidays and I'm busy here, there and everywhere with the children. So there we have this one here, which was the Blackberry Bliss layout underneath, and that's a little note card. And then we have this lovely thank you card with, we're going to call it a carnation. And that's been using the Inspiring Iris stamp set. Apologies, I've got all my stamps stuck there because I know I need to clean them and I won't go missing if I leave them stuck there. If you wanted to purchase that stamp, you have until this evening to purchase it and be eligible for the bonus days offer. The bonus days offer is when you spend £45, you get a £4.50 bonus coupon, bonus days coupon to spend in August, which is tomorrow. So you can get in before, I think it's 10 o'clock tonight to spend that. If not, you can buy it as you wish, alongside any other order. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I really appreciate it. Have a great evening. Take care. Bye.